Top games that are going to be at Gen Con. Let's go. That's right. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my top picks for games that you guys should check out at Gen Con. It's that time of year again, so let's get right into it, talking about my first pick to check out, and that is going to be Rock Hard 1977, a game where players will play as up-and-coming musicians dreaming about making it big with their band. This is going to be a worker placement game where you try and earn money and fame in order to win. You must write songs, play gigs, and promote your band. Now, theme-wise, this game looks totally different from any other game on this list. It looks like it's going to be a ton of fun to play as a rock band. However, I do think it is a little weird they do have candy in the game. I'm not too sure why they would add that as a component. It doesn't really fit the whole rock theme, but it's there. Check it out if you're looking for something different. Now let's move on to a game that is super hyped up that I think is going to be one of the best games to come out this year, and that is Arcs. Our sharp sci-fi, fast-playing space game that you have to play strategically for 2 to 4 players. This is set in a dark yet silly universe. Ready yourself for dramatic twists and turns as you launch yourself into a galactic struggle. You're going to be using different multi-use cards to perform different tricks and to complete different objectives in order to gain resources. Roll your dice, move your ships, and build cities. See how you fare in Arcs by Leader Games. And just remember, timing is everything. Now, I think this game is going to be awesome. It's going to get sold out really quickly, so make sure you get yourself a copy if you can. It's by Leader Games. Definitely looks like this is going to be tons of fun to play. Spectacular. Combine tiles and dice to create your very own spectacular animal park. Each turn will provide players with crucial decision making. Players will need to choose between different dice of certain value or to gain a certain animal tile which might benefit them and may not come up in the game again to add to their park. Cities, a city building game in which you must draft the best projects and arrange them in your own playing area to win. In cities, players are playing as city planners, trying to put together the greatest cities they can. They are placing workers down to collect different city tiles. They also trying to collect different buildings and place in their city blocks to complete different objectives to score points. A simple yet cute game. Check out Cities. Slay the Spire, the board game, a cooperative deck building adventure game based off the video game. Each player will have their own unique character with an ability, and they must use and create a unique deck of cards to defeat waves and waves of bizarre creatures until they reach the end of the Spire. Now, you know me, I love deck building games, so I had to give this one a try. I think this game is going to be fun for a lot of players, especially if you're a big fan of the video game. For me personally, I think it is a great game, but there is a lot of setup, work, and things to remember when different abilities get triggered. But if you can move past that part, then you're definitely in for a treat, so check out Slay the Spire. Reef Project. Become the hero of the reef and save the ocean. Players will take on the role of researchers and saviors of the ocean. You will sail the seas, hire crew, explore the coral reef, clean the ocean of any pollution, and try to accomplish as much as possible in order to win. Landmarks, a game where you and your friends will embark on a word-filled adventure using one-word clues to discover treasure. One player will play as the Pathfinder, and each round giving one-word clues to help aid the other players. This is a word game of hitting paths and clever clues. River of Gold. In River of Gold, players are playing as different merchant clans, trying to build your trade empire by serving different customers, construction different buildings, and gaining influence. Players must also invest in developing their ports, markets, and set sail to different regions in order to win. Check out River of Gold. How to save a world. Work on different projects, each with a razor-thin chance of saving a world. This is a worker placement game with hand building and resource management mechanics. Each turn you will assign workers to perform critical tasks or spend action cards to help advance your goals. At the end of each round, the project will be assessed and the asteroids will move even closer. Can you make the right decisions and avert disaster in this competitive sci-fi thrilling ride of a game? Lure, a game where players will bid dice to catch fish. The player that bids the least will go first. Players will compete to collect the most amount of points by reeling in different fish cards. To catch a fish, players must roll their dice and beat the fish's target number on the card, as they must meet a specific requirement on that card in order to catch that fish. Whoever completes those requirements and is the closest to the target number will catch the fish. Sand, a resource pickup and deliver game. Earn as much gold as possible as you transport goods across the desert. Players will travel through different towns and gain helpful companions along the way. Loot, a Viking placement game where the placement of your Viking matters to gather resources and to capture different buildings. The goal of the game is to bring the most riches back to your settlement using your long ships. Harvest, a game where you take on a role of a farmer and you will choose different farmhouses with their own special round-to-round benefit. Each round, you will draft different sunrise cards that will give you a one-time income and will determine turn order for the round. Following that turn order, move your wheelbarrows around the town to gather different resources that you will use to manage your fields. Plant seeds, tend to the land, and harvest crops to make the most amount of money and to score points. War Sinking, a semi-cooperative survival game filled with action and backstabbing and tons of booty. But don't forget the water that is sinking your pirate ship. Players must work together to defeat the monster that is sinking the ship and fill your pockets as much as possible, or will players let the ship sink and in that case must have the least amount of loot to save your life. Now, I did back this one on Kickstarter. I can't wait to get my copy of the game, but for anyone going to Gen Con, they will have copies there for you to purchase. It's definitely a game that takes a different spin on semi-cooperative. You don't have to work together, but if you do, you want to make sure that you have the most treasure, and if you don't, then you want to make sure you have the least amount of treasure. So, should you bluff? Should you work together? That's all up to your personal play style. Check out We're Sinking if it sounds like your kind of game. Clank, Catacombs, Lairs of the Lost Chambers. This expansion will introduce new tiles, new monsters, and more ways to enjoy the game. I am a huge fan of Clank, so I'm really looking forward to this one personally. I feel like this is going to be a good expansion to add to Clank Catacombs. Some very interesting tiles that they have revealed, such as the Sphinx. You have to defeat the Sphinx. Certain different ways to enter tiles where they can't be rotated however you want. And I do believe there will be some new cards to be added to the game because why not? More cards, more abilities, more fun. If you're a Clank fan, let me know in the comment section down below. Speaking about expansion, you gotta check out this new expansion coming out for Marvel United, and that is going to be Witching Hour. Discover 2 new characters that will be added to the game. Scarlet Witch, which will be a villain, and Agatha Harkness, which is going to be an anti-hero, along with reprints of 4 previous promo decks paired with their minis. Now, let me know in the comment section down below what games you guys are looking forward to coming out at Gen Con. If you're going, what games you plan on playing, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.